Okay, everybody, hi. This is Venzen. We're streaming live. So, this is gonna be like, I'm just commenting, there's nothing gonna happen for about an hour, right? The market gonna do its thing at about 12 UTC, that's an hour from now. Hopefully I stay on with you that long. Hopefully I don't get like drunk and raving mad before 12. So I'm sitting here in a in the resort that I'm staying at the moment, and I'm sitting in a bar. I hope I don't like what do they call it, like like tailpipe by YouTube for having music in the background, copyright infringement or whatever. Anyway, I don't monetize my videos. Like whatever video I do, I just put it out there. I'm not like doing videos to earn money from it. Like I didn't do any training to like be a YouTube content creator. I'm just doing this because people ask me to, and I like to talk, and I understand the market, right? I don't understand the market because nobody understands the market. It's a collective project and it can go anywhere, right? But I understand how to trade it. And let me just see that I'm not revealing. Yeah. What I need to do is I need to turn off my magic indicator so that when I do go to screen share, I'm not showing this to the whole world, because the indicator that I use is only available to my subscribers at cryptocurrency.net. This is a secret that only they know. It's actually not that secret. Like anybody could use it. Most of you probably use it already, but you don't know how to read it, or you are reading it and you haven't devised it into a trading method and a money management system. And that's like what I figured out, right? From just chewing hard bones, basically from bumping my hard head against the market so many times and losing and losing and losing. Eventually you're like, no, I mustn't lose, I must win. So what should I have done to win? And then, after so many years you figure it out, right? You become profitable. And then once you've seen it, you can't unsee it. And then if I don't do what this method says, if I don't do what the method dictates, I'm going to be in trouble. I'm going to have sleepless nights. I'm going to be in losing trades. It's just going to be terrible. So that's why you want a method. You just mechanistically do what the method tells you, and then you're okay. You're fine. You're not worrying. You're not like, ooh, but the mining hash rate, the difficulty's gone up, because that means that the hash rate's going to pick up and this other company just released news that they're going to 7 nanometers. And then, I once had a guy unsubscribe from my service. When he saw that all I did was look at this one indicator and that's it, he unsubscribed and he put on the interwebs. He was like, this guy Venzen Khaosan, he doesn't even consider mining hash rate. He doesn't even consider the global macroeconomic situation. Yeah, I don't. You don't need to. You see Tone or you see Tone or Ugly Old Goat or Tyler like tell you that that's important. It's not important, man. Anyone who tells you that you need 7 screens and like to know everything that's happening right now, man, that's nonsense. It's not true. You just trade this thing with one indicator and you're fine. Okay, so it's going to be noisy around here because out there are boats making the evening trip. Here is the bar. Like, I've got to sit close to the electricity. There are other guests here. They actually know about Bitcoin. Maybe we speak with some of them later. They were just like, we were just having a conversation. They wanted me to explain mining to them and why is Bitcoin important, right? And I was happy that I could explain it to them like in 2 sentences. Mining took a little bit longer because you gotta get the poor sun luck factor in there, and you gotta explain that they hash all these transactions, find a hash, like what the hell is a hash, difficulty of a hash. Mining is difficult to explain, but most people get it. Funny enough, once you explain to them, they're like, "Oh, that makes perfect sense." And I didn't use the word validation. I was using that there should be consensus. And after I explained it to the guy, I walked over to his son, and he was like to his son, "This is how the Bitcoin miners validate the blockchain." You know, you use the word validate. I didn't have to use that word. He just logically clicked. Okay, people. So I'm gonna sit here. I have some drinks. The sun is busy setting behind there. Let me just see what you can see. Oh, you can't see anything. As the sun sets, you'll see some islands back there. There's some people kayaking out there. Yeah. So we'll just
You might not always agree, but you know.
we'll just sit here and talk as the market goes through its motions. So let's look at that a little bit. I hope that the sound still works. It does. So this is my chart without the indicators. My subscribers will know that this being a 15-minute chart, right? 15-minute chart. My subscribers know that there's a 15-minute, 1 hour, and 4 hour advance happening at the same time as price is above some key moving averages in the one-day chart. That the weekly chart is just given a buy signal, and that the 4-hour chart is given a buy signal, and that the monthly chart is bullish for advance, right? So that's very bullish. So I don't know what people are talking about, that this price is going to collapse. There's no technical indication of it. If it's going to happen, well, we'll be out of our trade like $200 lower. But for now, it's looking good. It's just got to do the sideward wind, and then we should be going up. This is not my feeling, by the way, that it's going to be going up. This is confirmed by the indications which those of you who are just general public and not my subscribers, you don't know the indications. But my subscribers know that all the indications are bullish at all time frames right now. Okay. Also now, if you're in the public, that doesn't mean I just told you to buy, right? It's the wrong moment to buy. It's not the right moment to buy. If you want to buy, switch on stochastic on your chart, on the 15-minute chart, wait for it to cross to the upside, and that, when it makes a long blue line up towards the upper sort of maximum of the stochastic, that's your buy. But now is not the moment. This yellow trend line, I've been adjusting it because my sense was that it should be horizontal. But since we're breaking it now, I just dropped it to like a average level. So this crosses over, this doesn't reach it. This reaches it, busts to the upside. This is below, and now it's testing it from the top. A, B, C, D, E. We might still get winding here for another 2 or 3 hours before there's a move. The move might drop, hey. The move might do this. It might first go down like that and find 15-minute 200 MA support around here somewhere before it advances. Of course, if it comes down and it goes below this purple level, well, then all of the bullishness disappears at all the time frames, not the monthly and the weekly, but certainly at the daily. You'd suddenly lose a bullish edge there, bullish bias. That's okay. That's okay. Whatever happens, I mean, we don't trade what we think is going to happen. We just trade what is happening, right? It's like the example I always give is, if it's going to rain, if you think it's going to rain, don't bet that you think it's going to rain. Wait for it to start raining and then bet Go to the exchange and say, I bet that it's raining. It's already raining, and you can bet that I'm betting on rain, right? That's what you can do when you're trading. You can bet on rain when it's raining. It's not a casino. You don't have to put your bet while the sun is shining and say, I bet it's going to rain, because you don't know. You can put your bet when it's already started raining. Think about that. That's why top and bottom calling is such a loser's game. He's saying this is the bottom. You don't know. Wait for it to start advancing away from the bottom. Then say, I bet that was the bottom. Right? Yeah, why not? Why not? Make your life easy. Make obvious bets. Don't bet on what you think is going to happen. Don't bet on what you predict is going to happen. You don't know. Bet on what the market is doing already, right? Okay, so I'm going to drink some green tea. It's called Chang green tea. It's harvested from elephants.
Remember in the winter in our yard, we could get 3 different snow forts going on. It wasn't like straight back and forth. Thank you. We could.
And then the fights never really happened.
Laughing, building and laughing. And Uncle
So,
Larry making the toboggan run up the stairs.
I had 2 live streams up yesterday. I did the first one, then the bar closed. Then I went to my accommodation. I set up there again and made another live stream. That one was a little bit more relaxed, but I took them both down in the morning because I felt that I was talking too strong, strong topics and strong language. But many of my subscribers have asked me to please put up those videos again. I will, and I will tweet it out. I will telegram it to my group and I will tweet it out when I do put them up. There's always the concern that one should sort of be a little bit cautious in what you say, in the world today. But then again, I've kind of resolved myself not to travel in the West and not to be a personality in the West, appearing at conferences and stuff. So that pretty much leaves me to speak my mind from the East. Also in the East, values are different. We don't have a neo-Marxist in the East. You don't have a neo-Marxist obsession with gender and sexuality and biology. It's like if you're an albino lesbian black woman in a wheelchair that was a slave until last year, then a sex slave to a child soldiers under a warlord, if it's that kind of combination of things, then suddenly you're the most important person in society. Just because of that, just because of biological factors, your albinism, your blackism, your wheelchairism, your lesbianism, it's all biological. You see, in Asia you don't have that. Everyone's the damn same, right? And the women's is women's, and the men's is men's, and the lady boys are lady boys, and then there's still gays as well. But nobody's a special citizen because of their gender or their biology or In fact, in Buddhism, if somebody's born with a deformity or something, this is considered to be an inheritance from a previous life. Most likely from a hell existence that you lived in your previous life, you were in hell, and then reincarnated back into human form. And therefore your body is gnarled and twisted or deformed because of what you brought, because of the agony of your previous life. I'm not a judge about this. I'm not saying it's true or it's not true. I'm just saying that the value system is different. You understand? The value system is different. The judgments, the concept of identity is different. So in Southeast Asia, for instance, you can say that that person is black, and nobody can tell you can't say black. You got to say of color. You can say, oh, white people. You say you can't generalize. You can't talk about all white people. Yeah, you can. Yeah, I just did. Yeah. So it's just not so much eggshells. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you can actually you don't have to second guess yourself. You don't have to worry about Big Brother and the morality police is going to get you on your next tweet or on your next statement. You just talk. You know, your conscience will guide you, right? Your conscience will guide you. Say, oh, you know what? I said yesterday that there are no successful female traders. That's not true. That's not true. There are successful female traders. There are successful female traders in my group. What I meant to say, what I should have said, what I'm going to say now is, there are no legendary female traders. You don't get no quotes. You don't see any women who are celebrated for their trading expertise, right? For their prowess at speculation in the market. That you don't get. And I'm not saying it's because of some biological fact that women are shit traders. I'm saying it is what it is, and that the genders have different strengths and weaknesses. Right. So a woman can certainly execute a trade. A woman can certainly execute a trade method probably better than a man. But are they necessarily going to devise it, or are they necessarily going to excel, or have the adrenaline or the aggression, the testosterone-driven aggression, to go on a trading floor and cut their teeth and come out on top? That's a question. So this is very boring. So let's make it less boring by drawing some TA lines and make all the anti-TA people crazy. You do that,
Latin kids or any kids that grow up in the city.
and you make that line another color, like orange, right? See that? That's how you do TA. And then you take another one there and you put it like that. Now you've got an approximate range of expected motion, right? If it will go down here, then it's an A, B, C, D, E, right? Provisionally. And that E should rapidly reverse, climb back above this yellow trend line, and then shoot out the top. That triangle behavior and our expectation. When it breaks above there, we still have some distance to our entry point, right? So cryptocurrency members, just steady, just relax. If it's going to be a trade, it's going to be a trade. You don't have to get it early. If it's not going to be a trade, and we don't know if it's going to be a trade, you don't want to get in now and like blow your load. You shoot your ammunition out before the trade is happening. Just wait. I'm just looking at the bar lady's jeans. She got good jeans.
Not until you understood what was going on TV and the news to realize that, oh my God, these other people that live around us.
This family is having a family time, so I'm not going to invite them over. Also, I don't know what I'm going to talk with them about. Because this is like when the market starts moving, then I got to chase them away, right? Let me look. Maybe somebody's asked me a question. Maybe somebody's asking me a question. That'll be exciting. Do that.
Passion for margarita.
Have a look.
Thank you. He's working on it.
Oh, there's a lot of people. Hey, Adam. Somebody's asked me, isn't that the same place for an interview in the beginning of 2018? Asowomar. Is that your name? Yes, it is. It's the same place. This is my hangout. Hi there, Adam. Short-term thoughts on price. I think I just gave you that. Ronaldo-ify. I think I just gave you like some thoughts, like with that triangle drawing thing I did there. UNESCO. Glad you're streaming. Thank you. Hey, Agartha. Hi. Thank you very much. I dig it when people tell me, like, give me feedback about the volume and the visuals. There's a question, Zizo. How are you, Zizo? UNESCO is asking a question about a Head and Shoulders in the daily. I'll get to it. If we subscribe to your website, do we get the indicator and able to learn your MA strategy? Zizo, yes. Thanks for asking. So, if you subscribe to my website, all the information's there. How you get the indicator. It's a set of moving averages that gives signals, like at the right moments. You know, when you open your trade, when you close your trade, you get that for free. You get the documentation, how it works. All my general thoughts on trading are there in like a trading course, trading 100, 200, 300 different levels. How to use leverage, the leverage calculators. But I find that it generally takes people a few months to get through the information on their own, to familiarize themselves, for everything to click, right? Because the method is deceptively simple. Once I show you the basic action of this indicator, right, you're like, what the bloody hell? That's unfair that it's that simple, right? When I show you that, it's like, how the hell is everyone not using this? Well, I don't know why everyone's not using it. Instead, they calling tops and bottoms and, projecting into halving and all kind of stuff. There's a basic indicator available on TradingView that makes you see trend, right? Yeah, it's right there. You don't ever have to listen to anybody's market analysis because you can tell for yourself. It's like, what's the indicator? Oh, this thing is in an uptrend. Everyone's like, ooh, the S&P is going to crash, and they're wondering. No. Yeah, they just like, they're wondering what's going to happen. I can tell you what, the S&P and the stock markets are going up. The indicator says so. It's a typical advance. Okay, so Smiley, hi from Cape Town. Slaapstad. How's things in the Cape, my bro? Jits. So, Zizo, that's the answer. But what I would rather that everyone does is like get together one Bitcoin, right? And you come here where I am, right? And I train you. It's an 8-day experience, but the trading happens in 5 days. And I think you've watched those videos. We go meditating out there, we go exercising out there, we go swimming, and we start trading. Right? Everyone's got their own Thai house with their private bathroom and fresh sheets every day, and mosquito nets, and above the tsunami line, everything's fine. You come, you live here, and I train you how to use this method in 5 days, and I motivate you. I show you how you're going to change your life, and I put you on a program, a mentorship program, and you're going to damn well change your life. That's what I want to see, right? I want a bunch of champions coming out of my camp. I want people to own their trading. I want them to say, you don't have to bet and hope. Just bet and systematically double your account. That's what I teach you. That's what you got to do. That's what anyone can do. Okay? Head and shoulders on the 1 day. I'm going to switch off annotations, go to the 1 day chart. Everybody behind the bar, okay, mate? Can I please have more ice? Okay. Head and shoulders, no. If it must be a head and shoulders, right? This is I'm gonna now draw, and it's gonna interfere. Let's imagine that this is the shoulder And this is the distorted head, and this is another shoulder forming. Then you've got to draw through this shoulder right here, right? Oh, it's there already. So essentially, the purple line here is our neckline of the head and shoulder. Maybe you're saying that it's this, right? This, like. I'm gonna read, like, just move the lines. It's no problem, and increase the thing. Listen, guys, day is not a useful. Daily is not useful. I'm gonna go to 4 hour. A day chart is a little bit clumsy for technical analysis. It's a little bit clumsy. That is not a head and shoulders. This and this and this, it would have broken down there. If it was head and shoulders, it would have broken down there. So if it's a more complex head and shoulder, let's say it's this, right? And this is an anomaly, because now in a head and shoulder you don't get that spike down there. Let's say it's this, right? So that all of this is the head in the middle of the chart, and then on the right hand side we've got another shoulder forming. So it's got to form like to this kind of size, right? Okay, maybe, but how do I put this? I don't want to, I don't want to mock anybody. Somebody asked me a question. I don't want to mock them. It's like, thanks for asking the question. I want to give you an answer. I want to show you the absurdity of head and shoulder anticipation. Why? Because this is a 4 hour chart, right? And me and my group, with my ridiculous simple indicator, we just got a buy signal today. So now, what do I do? What do we as a group do? We've got a buy signal, so we got to buy, right? Now, the risk is we're buying into a shoulder. That's now if you come with a head and shoulder argument. We're buying into a shoulder that's going to round up here. Well, we'll still make money because it's going to go up and it's going to come down. And when it comes down, our indicator closes the trade, dictates a close, so we made money on the up. Now we're going to get a sell signal when it comes down, right? And we're going to not take it. Because while we're above this line and some other indicator moving averages, we don't want to trade short while we're in a confirmed uptrend, because the 1 month chart is bullish, the 1 week chart is bullish, the 1 day chart is bullish. Why would we trade down? The bulk of probabilities to the upside. You see now? So you don't want to trade down anyway. Then even if it does break down below here, we know that the 1 week chart and the 1 day chart provides support at 6,200. But it might not go all the way to support. It might go to 7,100, hit this resistance over here. You see this red line coming along here? You see that line? It might hit that and bounce so hard while the trend remains up, while the larger time frame trend is up. It might bounce so hard off of this that it turns into a losing trade below this. It might be so volatile and such a bounce. So probabilistically, we always go in the direction of the larger trend. In the long run, it works out better than trying to opportunistically trade, trade counter trend. You don't want to trade counter trend. Trading counter trend is like having a date with a girl tonight, right? That's the trend. She's agreed to it. You booked a restaurant. You got dressed. You're going. Now, on your way there, you see your ex-girlfriend going that way. Well, that's your ex.
Is he going back to school?
That's your ex. Why would you want to stop going to your date? That's confirmed. That's the trend. That's something that you want, that you're anticipating. Why would you now go the opposite direction and chase up your ex-girlfriend? That's where you come from. That's already ended. That's the past, right? So any counter-trend move is just setting up the next move in the direction of trend, right? You don't want to trade it. That's a trading approach and a trading philosophy that I don't trade counter trend. I tell my members don't trade counter trend because it's got a low success rate. Okay, so that's my answer about a head and shoulders. I don't think my answer is like really compelling, but it makes sense, right? It makes sense. I don't worry about head and shoulders because in Bitcoin they rarely work. At the small time frames they do, but yeah, even so I trade a signal for my indicator, not a head and shoulders pattern. I don't trade a pattern. Okay, so that's 4 hour. Come back to 15 minute. Yeah, it looks like we're setting up for another move down. I believe that this move down is going to happen at 12 o'clock UTC, which is in half an hour's time. I hope everyone can hear me. Oh shit, did I just do all of that with no... I didn't change the screen share. Let me quickly do that for you. I was looking at the 4 hour chart, right? Let me quickly say, I can do all of that again. I so frequently forget to go to screen share that I've developed skill at repeating myself. So what I was saying, this is a 4 hour chart. This is the potential head and shoulders on this purple line here. That this is a shoulder, this is the head, and now there's another shoulder developing, right? What I was saying is that me and my group, we just got a buy signal from our indicator. So if there's another shoulder, it will get us some profit before it stops us out, right? And then it'll make a sell signal. Now, all of that stuff I talked about, trading counter trend, you're going to be trading against the trend. If you trade down here, if you go short, that's a mistake, because I was saying before that there's resistance here, there's support and resistance at 7,000. It might go below there and everyone's like, woohoo, here goes the head and shoulders, it can go to 6,200. But then it bounces at 7,000 in high volatility and spikes right above where we came from. So the trade is risky because it's counter trend. If this is the head and shoulders, left shoulder over there, head over back to the neckline, and the next shoulder is developing. It might be a smaller head and shoulders, like this here, right? Then you've got to move this down. Oh, I didn't want to squeeze the chart. I wanted to do this. If this is the head, if this is the left shoulder and this is the head and this is the right shoulder, then it should have broken down over here. Right? This is where the breakdown would have happened. It wouldn't have bounced there. So it's no longer head and shoulders. If that is the head and shoulders, it failed. Okay, so that's my explanation of that. Alright, I'm just going for the obvious trend line here, which is like so. Whether it will end up playing out according to this trend line, I don't know. It's not important to know because I don't trade the trend line. I don't trade the head and shoulders pattern. I don't trade any pattern. I don't trade a candlestick pattern. I don't trade a candlestick. I trade my indicator. It's giving me buy and sell signals and close signals for long trades and close signals for short trades. Me and my group at cryptocurrency, that's what we do, and that's all that we do. Okay, so in the 15-minute chart, I was saying that it looks like by 12 o'clock, in half an hour or 25 minutes, we're going to get a move back down to the yellow trend line. It's going to spike down to the orange trend line and then get back above and move on. That's what I expect to happen. I'm not going to trade it. I'm just watching and calculating potential outcomes, but I don't trade those potential outcomes. I only want to trade. I already explained to you why I don't want to trade down, right? I only want to trade when this thing goes up. That's the direction of highest probability. We know where our entry point is above this consolidation, me and my group, because our indicator shows us that's the entry level, right? It's a moving average. So we just wait for that. If it doesn't happen, if price doesn't advance above that moving average, we don't get in. We just continue waiting. If it drops down, then we start saying, okay, well, now we've got to wait for it to drop, find support, and start reversing back to the upside. And that buy signal we trade. You see? That's how we do it. That's how we do it. You're never guessing. You're never accessing your inner Mr. Bean. You never like say, oh, I think this is what's going to happen. Oh, it's going the other way. Now I'm going to do that. You end up flopping around the market like Mr. Bean, falling in and out of trades every time, making your decision at exactly the wrong moment. Don't listen to your mind. Don't listen to your emotions. Don't listen to your heart. Don't listen to your gut feeling. Listen to your rational mind that says execute the trades by a mechanistic method. You only do what the indicator says, nothing else. Nothing else. Now you understand why I'm appearing on Tone and Willie and everybody's show and not saying anything. What am I going to say? I don't know. I don't know what the price chart is going to do. I don't. From 1 minute to the next, I don't know what it's going to do. I just trade my signals. So what must I say on Tone show? Yeah, Tone, I've got a buy signal right now since the last 2 days. And Tone's like, where do you think the price is going to go? Or somebody in the comments said, ask Venzen what his target is. Well, I don't trade like that. I don't trade at a target. You got a rough idea. I mean, I'd like to see 10,000 if this buy trade happens, but will we see 10,000? Will we see 20,000? I don't want to close at 10,000 because I'd rather see 20,000 if I'm in a long trade. So we also use the trading method to close our trades. We don't cherry pick levels. You don't have to. How long do you bet on rain for? You bet on rain while it's raining. When it starts raining, you say, I bet it's raining, right? Arthur Hayes, don't complain about that. He's like, sure, you can bet. You bet that it's raining when it starts raining. How long do you bet for rain? How long do you continue betting that it's raining? You keep that bet open until it stops raining. And then you say, I close my bet for rain. Right? That's all you have to do. When it's raining, you bet. When it stops raining, it's betting. That's it. It's that simple. But you just have to have the revolution in your mind that is that simple. Instead, people are, saying, oh, I think it's gonna reverse. So not only do they close their trade, they start shorting. It's like, why do you want to counter trade? You don't want to do that. You got to rain check yourself before you wreck yourself. You know that song. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Don't do many things in the market. Do the obvious things. Do the things that your indicator says do this, and you do that. That's all you have to do. Okay. Guys, I can't see the live chat. So if I want to see the live chat, I've got to go to this view, and then I've got to come to this screen that you now can't see and actually read the things. That makes sense. We cannot see it. Screen share, please. Screen share. Yeah, I know. Will the channel only do TA on BTC, or could we see... Oh, I got time. My indicator, I designed it on Bitcoin, and then I opened other charts with the same indicator, and it all works. It works on the S&P, the NASDAQ, all the Forex. It works on gold, it works on silver, it works on Litecoin, it works on Ethereum. It works on everything. I only comment on Bitcoin price. Sometimes I mention Ethereum because it's more profitable to long Ethereum than it is to long Bitcoin. It's more profitable to short Bitcoin than it is to short other cryptocurrencies. That's with leverage trade, right? Margin trade. So I don't really comment on those. Sometimes Ethereum say, here's a good opportunity in Ethereum, look at the signal. But I just do Bitcoin, man, because the only thing you want to trade in the world, the only instrument that you want to trade in the world is Bitcoin. It is the part, it's the instrument that has made the largest gains in the history of markets. And it's going to continue doing that. You know, you got to make such a large bet on gold or the S&P to get the same returns as Bitcoin. You can just make a small bet on Bitcoin and like double your margin account when Bitcoin moves like $500 or $1,000. You've doubled your margin account. How are you going to do that with gold or the S&P? You're going to have to take on such ridiculous risk in terms of your leverage to achieve the same result. Just trade Bitcoin, man. Just trade Bitcoin. Don't worry about all that other crap. Make your life easy, man. Make your life easy. It's like when you it's like if you know that your sexual market value is for a certain type of girl, then you only trade those girls, right? You only approach those girls, you only respond to those girls, you only invest in those girls. You don't go and like try every girl, right? You don't go and try every like prospect. You're gonna waste energy, you're gonna burn resources, you're gonna miss other opportunities. You just focus on your type. You know, you got your preferred instrument, just focus on that. You'll be okay. There's going to be periods when you're bored, when you're waiting, when it's consolidating, you know, when she's talking to another guy or she's gone to the ladies' room and you got to wait. But when she reappears and she's trending towards you, you know what you got to do. That's efficiency of energy and motion. UNESCO is asking, what do I think about shitcoins? Zezo says that lots of traders are so proud of their calls and charting their 10 indicator. It looks like your indicator takes the ego away. Yeah, man. I've done analysis for so many years on public forums and in newspapers. You know, I used to write for cryptocurrencies, not crypto. I used to write for Crypto Coins News for like 3 years, where I was releasing a price analysis article. Good night, people. See you tomorrow, okay? Good night. So I used to write for Crypto Coins News and write for like an article a day for 3 years. I so got over the idea that I could predict price and that my achievement was worth celebrating at all, and that I just lost the will to predict. I lost the will to predict. I lost the will to celebrate small successes. Once I just became consistently profitable trading with this indicator, I was just like, shit, there's nothing to brag about. I just want to show this to other people. Yeah, but I don't want to show it to other people in Crypto Coins News because a bunch of trolls say, oh, you're lying. You know, you're like telling people this is what the indicator is saying. They're like, you're lying. This guy's always wrong. You know. So I was like, I'll charge people, and if they want to know, they'll pay. I'll just run a subscription service, and I enjoy it. It's like my friends, because I was sitting alone in a small house for like years and years doing all of this. I didn't have any friends. I never went out. I was in front of the charts 18 hours a day. That these people became my friends and my community, you see. So I just carry on doing it. Now I'm changing the format where I'm like, rather than subscribe to the website, come and see me. Let's hang out. Let me show you in person. Let us exercise together. Let's get inside of each other's heads and friendship, and you write back to me how profitable you are doing. Shitcoins, I don't care. I'm like Todd. They're all scams. They're all going to disappear. They're all going to go to zero. Those who don't, I don't be involved with them because it's mental energy. You know, they pump and dump schemes. They've got bots that are artificially ranging the price. They centralize. You know, in terms of the technology, they're just worthless. They'll never be Bitcoin. They'll never compete with Bitcoin. In terms of trading them, they're just a waste of time, man, because they manipulate it, and Bitcoin moves more than those coins do. If you trade Bitcoin with leverage, you want to trade Bitcoin, man. That's where the money is. I've done my maths. I've done my homework. The only instrument worth trading is Bitcoin. Did I teach a certain Eric C? No, I don't remember a name Eric, unless he was using an online, you know, Nick. He had a username online. I don't remember a guy called Eric C. Okay. Good people. You know, I'm making good people. You know, I'm making a video here. You can talk, but okay. she's like, you got to know it's bar.
Everybody will come to Riley. Everything beautiful.
Don't say Riley, okay? Because I don't want them to come.
Huh?
I don't want them to come. Many people.
Come here.
Yeah. People, just excuse me a bit. You can look at the scene out there. You can start seeing the islands and I'll be right back. Can I please ask for another one like that?
Yeah, sure.
Sure. Can you
Drink more.
Thank you very much.
ไม่น่ากลัวนะแต่ว่าพุ่มเอาบุ๋มไหมไม่กลัวใช่ไหมมีมาจะมีอะไรกันอ๋อมามีปลาเค็ม
You see that head, man? This is the head that found the secret to trading the Bitcoin market. It took me 7 years. It took me 7 years, man. That's a long time to sit on your ass and look at the chart and try different things. You know, sometimes you think you're onto something, you trade it, you lose, you win a little bit, you lose. Like, God damn, that's not it, man. Then you start again. So thank goodness I was being paid in Bitcoin by Crypto Coins News, and you know, so I could try all these strategies and trade my Bitcoin and then like lose everything and start again the next week, you know, like, and just by trial and error, man, because you know, when you're trading, all of us, when we learn from our mistakes, right? And in the market, you also learn from your mistakes. But when you make a mistake in the market, you lose money. That's the deal. If you make a mistake in the market, you lose your. You also want to make a video, this stuff is like, they're just getting like full Thai like volume now. It's like, because there's no customers, they don't consider me a customer because I'm like a resident. Now it's just full volume, like, yeah. I'm making a video. They're like, look at me like, yeah, but so what? So when you make a mistake in the market, you end up paying money, right? So my advice to new traders is always, don't put a large amount of money in the market because you're going to lose it in the name of learning. Right? Right. So if you've got a thick head like mine, it takes you a longer time to learn from your mistakes, right? But eventually I learn. And I mean, I just thank God that it's over, you know. I just thank God that it's over. There's nothing as soul destroying as losing and losing, you know, because your method isn't on point. And then when you find something, you're like, what man? This indicator, you check the different time frames, you're like, what man? And you find an indicator that gives you reliable, consistent signals across time frames. Yeah, that's like a new beginning. And you're like, wait, let me try this. And then you start refining it, right? You still lose, you still win and lose. You never stop winning and losing in the market. You're never 100% confident. When you make a trade, you don't know that it is gonna be a winning trade. You anticipating a loss. You got to know how much you're gonna lose, right? So when I make video, it's not easy with everyone talking loud. It's not. Can talk, but a little bit down because I can stop making the video. You okay? I stop and when you finish, I can make. Okay. So.
Sorry.
No problem. So, you see, that's the process. And then once you got a trading method, you know, you're like, oh, it's one of them signals. Now I'm gonna go like balls to the wall, man. I'm gonna flip and hit this market for get all my losses back. Then you end up stumbling over the next thing, which is your money management. Because even with a winning trading method, there's still going to be losing trades. If you hit one of those losing trades and you're fully invested, man, you put your whole account in there or your full leverage, it's going to empty you out. So even though you won 3 times in a row and you turn 3 Bitcoins into 10, now you're betting your 10 Bitcoins and there's one little losing trade, man, bang, you're out. Bang, you're out. So then you start thinking, okay, so my method's good, but how do I prevent myself from emptying my account, right? Yeah, all of that process took me 7 years, man. Probably about 5 to the point where I had it down pat. But I'm now sitting at 7 years of trading Bitcoin, and I'm so glad to have reached this point where I'm relaxed and confident about what I'm doing, right? I've lost the urgency, I've lost the excitement about trading, I've lost the compulsion to trade, I've lost the excitement, you know, of making Bitcoin, because for me now it's just a gradual process of achieving goals. How many Bitcoin do I want, right? What do I want to achieve with my life? I now know it's going to take me 2 or 3 years before I got what I want from the market. What do I want to do with those 2, 3 years? I can't sit and look at the chart every day. I will get an email when there's a signal, right? I will get an email. I can do other things, right? Which is why I started this trading camp. And I'm reigniting my traveling schedule. Because I've been in this paradise for so long that, you know, the grass on the other side gets greener, man. You integrate the whole paradise into your system. You live and breathe it for 7 years, and it just becomes normal. Although I must say, the scene behind me, I never get tired of it. Whenever I see this, man, there's some sunshiny days when that sea is just azure blue, and you can just see, like, for miles and miles how many islands there are out there, and it's so beautiful that you just feel alive. And the chart might or might not be doing anything at that time, but you just feel motivated and fully human, fully alive. Okay, so the chart, you're probably all looking at your own charts, but let me just switch to my 15-minute chart. We're waiting for 6 minutes time when it'll go 12. It'll go 12 o'clock UTC. Let's get closer to that action. 5-minute chart. I know exactly what my indicator is doing. Well, I don't know exactly, but I've got a good idea what it's doing. Is this a triangle? A, B, C, D, E, and this is something else. You know what I'm saying? You can draw a triangle here. You do this, right? Make that like, let's make it like magenta, right? And then you make another line there, and that's your triangle. It was an expanding triangle. A, B. No, that's not a C. That cannot work. No, I'm wrong. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm wrong. Do you guys remember when I was with Tone and Willie in Pangan, right? In Koh Pangan, and we did that full moon analysis, and I was saying that I need to go to a different chart. I need to go to the BLAs. And price was down here, right? Price was here, and I was saying, guys, it's already advancing. We're going to 10,000 or beyond. And like that seemed so weird to everybody, because everyone was thinking that the price was going to go to 2,500 down here, that was doing a correction, then would go down. But I was saying, guys, my indicator is already showing that it's going up. So if it goes up, this is really weird, because it's done an A, B, C. It's done 3 to the downside. If it's not going to make a 4 and then 5, right, then it means that this phase of the correction is over, that it must now go up. Because you get 3 waves to the downside, now you must get 3 waves to the upside. I've got them as A, B, and this is C, right? So if you look at, we'll look at it closer just now, but this is your 3 waves to the upside. It must end on a parabolic spike, right? I reckon it's gonna hit like 12,000, right? It could also go to near to 20,000 if it's really parabolic spike. Then it must come down again in 3 waves. And we keep on seeing these 3 waves up, 3 waves down for the next 2-3 years. Can you imagine that? That's a multi-year triangle, right? So I called that back in February. I was like, guys, there's a chance we got a multi-year triangle. And people were like, ooh, that's interesting. Ooh. But then they were still talking about 5,000 is Tom was saying 5,000 is the upper range. He had his reasons. I also took profit at 5,200. I was like, ooh, that's damn high. That's so high. Yeah. You know, but I carried on beyond. So part of my position was still on the indicator, and it ran to 7,000 or more. I can't remember. Just to get a little bit closer, I need to go back to this chart and then get on the, I think 1 hour will do it. I need to really zoom out to show you what I mean. 1 hour is not going to do it. Okay, it could do. You see, when you get this kind of sideways consolidation, right? You get it at different kind of degrees of trend. This is very large, right? So this is a large degree consolidation, but there you've got a small degree consolidation. Here you've got a small degree consolidation. Look what happens after the consolidation. Price advances and goes parabolic. You see that? It spikes up. Here's a consolidation. Price spikes up, consolidates, spikes up. Here is a consolidation. It spikes up, returns, and then continues advance. My point here is that after this consolidation, where we are now, oh shit, can't see the charts, right? Oh, you can. Oh, that's great. What made me choose to like change to screen share? You see the amount of spikes going up here? You see how it's parabolically spiking and it comes down real low and it makes another parabolic spike to the upside. That's what I'm expecting to see after this correction, but it must be very large. It must match the size of this correction. We must get out of here by like by a Fibonacci extension. Let me draw you what I mean. This is the fib retracement. I turn it into an extension. So the size of this, right? The size of this approximately. Let's be generous. Let's not like be overexcited. Let's take it from there, right? And then let me pull out. So you see that 1.618 there, and you see the 2.618, the red one up there. You see the orange one here. That's 1.618. The size of that, the extension of this consolidation. That's at 10,200. That's at 12,200 as well. These are the kind of levels I'm expecting to see. Now, I'm not going to wait for them. I'm just going to let my indicators stop me out. When it shows that it's time, that's when I'll get out. But in terms of my anticipation of what we might see, I expect one of those two levels, if not both. 10,000, 12,000. Right now, me and my group have got I've got a buy signal towards this upper barrier, and I guess it'll sort of sideways go up and hit this trend line when the trend line intersects with this 1.618 extension level at 10,000. If that will happen, that'll be great. You know, that'll be great. My indicator's getting me in, and if it reaches that level, it'll probably get me out below 10,000, probably 9,500 will be the level when I come out, but I'm happy for that. I just wait for my indicator to close the trade. Okay, so 15 minute again. It's gone 12 o'clock UTC. Nothing spectacular is happening. I've sat with you guys for an hour and a bit. Let's get it until 5 past. Let's get till 5 past because it's coming up against this trend line, right? Closer will be better. Let's see what Tone's indicator is saying. Huh? Guys, want to look at Tone's indicator? I just hope it doesn't show my indicator. Let me get out of there if it does. Just a second. I don't want to reveal stuff I don't need to reveal, right? This is the stochastic indicator I looked at earlier today. I released a video about an hour ago, 2 hours ago, that showed that this stochastic indicator is a good means of opening and closing trades. So for instance, if you buy there on that buy signal, then you would get out over here when it crosses back below the signal line. Then you buy there and you get out when it crosses below, right? So it's really good, man. The only problem, as I point out in the video, is you don't know the direction of the trend with the stochastic. Once you know the direction of trend, the stochastic is super fast to get in and out of trades. But Why it's not a primary indicator is because our primary indicator is concerned with trend, and we want to trade trend. We don't want to trade consolidations. So this consolidation from all of this has pulled the stochastic back to down there. The stochastic has made a reverse divergence. In other words, this level here, where it bounced from, went below this level here. Let me just illustrate it to you. You see that price is making a higher high, price is making a higher low. That's not confirmed by the stochastic. The stochastic's making a lower high. It's actually making a lower low from there. This is called reverse divergence, and it's a reversal signal. But now, of course, it's a reversal signal. So if I was a nincompoop, I would go on Twitter and say, one day stochastic as reverse diverge, I'm long, maximum leverage, up to the hilt. But no, you don't do that. Experience has taught me you don't trade these kind of things. It's just telling you what is likely to happen, that you're now going to see a buy signal. So I tell my folks in my website, I say, guys, we're probably going to get a buy signal now, just hold on for it. Right? Today we got the buy signal. Today, the 13th of June, we got the buy signal in the 4-hour chart. So as soon as it crosses a certain level just around here, we're in, right? And look, the stochastic is confirming our direction. We've got two buys, and it's soaring to the upside. So we've got probability and indicators in our favor trading to the upside. You see, and this is why I don't want to trade no head and shoulders here, because there's not an indication for head and shoulders. If we switch on tones indicator, we've got an aggressive 13 that says sell. But there was an aggressive 13 that said sell. Here is an aggressive 13 that says sell. We're in a countdown phase, so 9, 10, tomorrow will be 11, then 12, then another 13 up there. That's good, right? Price should be back at 9,000. If my indicator closes the trade, fair enough. Tone's indicator is saying it's going higher. Right? I believe he's bullish when he was drinking tequila with the dame there next to the jacuzzi. 4-hour. Ooh, 12 countdown. But these are all negative numbers, right? It's going to make a 13 to the downside, and then we are up. Then we got to go up. Okay, so that's that. I think I'm going to end the stream here. What I'd really like to do is start like a discussion live stream, say on a Saturday afternoon or a Saturday evening, almost like Ugly Old Goat does, but where I don't talk about Bitcoin, right? Where I get some guests on and we just talk about like other things, like the fact that the Earth has got a catastrophe cycle of 12,000 years. I've been spending a lot of time studying that stuff, and well, yeah, I'm not going to tell you what I think. Most people just think I'm crazy. There's things to discuss. I mean, the whole red pill, blue pill thing, is a big theme in society. Issues like adoption. Not talk about Bitcoin price, but talk about Bitcoin adoption. Like the belief that most people have that Bitcoin adoption, the more adoption there is, the higher the price is going to go. Like, I can show you, man. I can show you with chart examples that that's not true, because the chart is not driven by adoption. No market is driven by adoption. Markets and price is driven by speculation. An increase in adoption also increases the amount of people who are willing to short, right? Think about that. Just because it's adoption, now you think everyone wants to buy? No. Many of those people might have negative, the society might have a negative social mood. They're adopting Bitcoin to short it, right? Pouring into the bear market. That's adoption. Right, so it's, these kind of social myths, the benefits of intermittent fasting, anybody aware of that? Intermittent fasting, man, is so good for you on so many levels, in so many ways, especially when you do it like once a week. If you stop eating at like 6 in the evening, and then you're gonna not eat anything and go to bed at say 10, right? So you've digested your food. Now you go to bed, right? You start being hungry. What happens is that your body pumps blood and water to your brain, and then sucks it dry, right? Like not suck it dry like a dried out noodle. It pumps blood to your brain and then drains that blood during the early stages of sleep, like within the first 2-3 hours of deep sleep. What it does, it actually drains waste out of your brain and your cranium. Dead proteins, old fluid, all of that comes out, and your body flushes itself that way. But you gotta be hungry for that process to happen, right? You gotta be hungry. And that's why intermittent fasting is good. That's one of the reasons. I mean, never mind the other benefits. People might be aware of them or not. I'd like to discuss the absurdity of Tesla. And my Jewish neighbor there from Cape Town, Elon Musk. I mean, that guy's got everyone thinking that he's like an innovative genius. He's bullshitting you all, man. He's bullshitting the world with all his schemes and scams, electric cars and houses built from solar panels and solar panel roads and stuff. I don't even have to prove it to you. I can just link you to videos that show that a solar panel road or solar panel sidewalk or a solar panel roof, like houses built out of solar panel, is a waste of money, is not energy efficient. Is not energy efficient. Electronically. The watts and amps and the amp hours and the volts, they just don't add up to a saving. Fossil fuel, right, is abundant on this earth. Oh shit, then we get in the next topic. Global warming. What a bullshit. What an absolute bullshit. I would like to discuss that. I like to put out the facts and have debate about it. I like to see the trolls, these guys that believe everything that society puts to them because they read it in a newspaper or heard it at the university, that they believe it. I'd like to see them like fizzle and pop, discussing these contentious topics. If anybody's keen on that, let me know in the comments, because I'd like to sit with like a beer and a cigar and have various people from the world, and we discuss this stuff factually, live debate. What about this evidence? Everyone's going to do their preparation. It's not just to blab your mouth off. Evidence-based discussion about popular topics. Elon Musk cannot. Nobody can. Not NASA, not Elon Musk, not the European Space Agency, not the ESA. Nobody can go to Mars. You cannot go to Mars. Why can you not go to Mars? There's a reason you can't go to Mars, right? A very well-documented, well-researched, obvious reason why you can't go to Mars, right? And Elon Musk tells everybody, oh, we're going to go to Mars. He cannot go to Mars. He knows he cannot go to Mars. Why is he telling everybody that? And you tell people online, that's a bullshit. He's never going to go to Mars. He's stringing you along in some fantasy world that he's creating for you. And people are like, oh, you just don't want to believe the progress. Humanity must expand. It's like, dude, We're on the Earth. We got enough problems here as it is. What the bloody hell are we going to do on Mars? When we got problems right here, you're going to go live on Mars. You think you can even get there, right? Okay, so yeah, man. If somebody wants to spout stuff that they read in the news or saw on the interwebs, I can argue with that. I love to argue. I love to argue because so few people reference themselves as the origin of their thoughts. They take their thought from somebody else told them, and then they run with it. You know, they're like, ooh, you know. But the thought never originated in their mind. They never thought it through. It's not an authentic thought. It's not built on rational logic. It's just something they heard somewhere and they like it. You know. There's so many things like that. I like to talk about them. So if anyone's keen on a show like that, yeah, let me know. If it's worth my while, if I'll have an audience, I'll do it. If I have an audience, I'll do it. Okay, so to wrap up, I look like Krusty the Clown tonight. To wrap up, I'm doing a trading workshop here in south of Thailand. It's called Trading Camp. It happens over 8 days. On days 1 and 8, people arrive and leave. But in the middle 5 days, there is intensive learning going on, right? All happening in the context of you meditating in the morning, exercising your body, eating healthy food, living in luxury in a national park in one of the most beautiful places in Thailand, next to one of the most beautiful beaches with glorious sunsets and natural scenery, man. You come here, you pay me 1 Bitcoin, I will change your life. Not because I'm a life changer, because the knowledge that I have and that I've shared with many people who have testified that this changed your life, I'll give it to you as well. I'll show it to you. Evidence-based, right? People, thank you very much for tuning in. Thanks for everything. Let me see if there's any additional questions. Adam likes it. John Addison likes it. Guys, in the description there's a link to my website, outlines the trading camp. You can contact me from there. You can see some dates, you can see some details about this place and everything. If you're interested, contact me. We set it up. Thank you very much. I'm getting compliments. I'm humbled and grateful. Thank you very much, and speak to you all on the next live stream. If there's action tonight, I might go live. I'm dedicated to live streams now and education. I'm going to stop the live stream here. Everybody, good night. Speak to you soon.